Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. We got a great episode for you lined up. We're going to be talking all things Tripletail, man. The Tripletail Championship. We got Jay in the studio. He's trying to figure out how to kick this live feed over into the Alabama world, right? At Mobile, the fishing groups over there, so we can have some of those fine folks talk about this tournament. But before we do that, like we always do here on the show, we're going to thank the people that keep the lights on for us over here. And the first one right out of the gate is Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. Check him out on the socials, man, at Southern Magnolia Smiles. 2023 is a year to keep your mouth clean. So if you're looking for a great local dentist, hit him up, man. Book an appointment at 228-215-1202. They're located right over here on Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. Hill Tree Marketing, Jesse Hill and his team. He's put together a great team. If you're looking for a website for any reason, Jesse can take you from no concept to full-blown idea created on the internet, ready to rock and roll. He'll handle everything from the photography side, videography. He's got aerial drones that he can fly around for you if you need that type of thing. He can handle the IT side of it. So go over to hilltreemarketing.com. Check out some of the brands that is on his website listed there, local brands that he's already worked with. And that's the big kicker with Jesse. He's local, man. So when you talk to him, he's not some, office some 4 states away. He's right here in Ocean Springs, and he's worked with us. He's built brownwaterbanter.com, and we couldn't be happier with the product. This is our buddy Tyler over at Taylor & Cox Law Firm. They've been practicing law for over 30 years right here in Pascagoula.
That's what you were supposed to do.
What?
Change that picture.
Yeah, I haven't got with him yet. I don't have another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have another one.
All right, Tyler, if you're listening.
I got to get with you, Tyler. Tyler & Cox Law Firm over in Pascagoula, man. Practicing law, like I said, 30 years of experience. If you find yourself in need of representation, they specialize in criminal law, family law, and civil litigation defense. So give them a shout at 228-696-0111 and tell them that you heard about them on the Brown Water Banter podcast. And then bringing up the rear here is the 5th annual Downtown Ocean Springs Crawfish Cook-Off. It's going to be May 27th. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that's a Saturday.
Yep.
In downtown Ocean Springs on Government Street, right there by Pleasant's Barbecue.
Yep.
It's the 5th annual. I think it's the 3rd or 4th time we've been down there. I think we missed a year. But it is a damn good time. If you've never been, it's all you can eat while supplies last crawfish.
Yep.
For a flat rate of what's the wristband? $15, $20.
I think it's 25. Don't quote
me on that, but it's well worth the dollars. When you buy the wristband, you get to go in, sample all the different teams that will be competing. Everybody's got a different flavor. Everybody's got a different taste. You get 1 vote for the viewer's choice or fan participation, people's choice, whatever you want to call it. And you get to vote for your favorite team.
That's right.
They give away a few different prizes, but it is a damn good time. They got beer for sale. We'll be down there selling Brown Water merch, and I guess we can announce it, huh, Joey?
We are competing
this year.
The Brown Water boilers are in full effect.
That's
it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love the
it's going to be nasty.
Yeah. We're taking Joey's patented secret recipe.
Don't tell anybody.
It's got a lot of stuff in it, man. It's just very complex, and we're hoping to take home first place, maybe even 2nd and 3rd. I think we could sweep.
We can sweep the whole category.
Just take all of them. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. All right, so that's it on the sponsors. There looks like we got some comments already coming in. Grant,
well, you got Rocky too. We got Rocky.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
Yeah,
I don't have the graphic pulled up.
All right, so we'll go ahead and Rocky Brooks over at Cedar Swamp. We're doing a little maintenance on his pictures. He should have his new building and pictures in Gulfport. He's got all your stuff that you need, your rod and reels, extra tough boots, any of that stuff. He can restring line, he can restring lures, he can do anything you want. So we'll have it back up here in a minute. Yeah, right there it is right there.
That's his old store.
The old store that's in Gaucher, and then the new store is going to be in Gulfport. If you know where the old Sports Unlimited building is, that's where the new store is going, and they're just about ready to rock and roll. Kaylin said they should have signs here next week, so should be up and running.
Yep. And check them out on Facebook, C2 and Swamp.
Yep.
And we appreciate Rocky being on board with us as always.
Yep.
So all right, let's jump into it. Tripletail Championship. Not just Tripletails, but the championship of Tripletails.
That's right.
We're
trying to find the best tripletail angler in the entire country.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with that. I know you're not going to find him here sitting at this table.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So introduce yourself. Tell us, you've been on the show before. For those who've seen it, that you've been on the show before. Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name's Captain Jay O'Brien. I own Irish Wake Fishing, and I'm also a commercial real estate broker with Sterling Properties. And I started this tournament last year because I saw a need to bring some awareness to Tripletail, and it used to be kind of a cult following, and it's really exploded due to social media.
Yeah.
As far as people chasing them, so I felt like some awareness needed to be brought to help kind of instill some conservation to the species, so they can be out there for everybody to enjoy, and we don't run them into the ground.
Yeah, I think we said it last year too, or last time you were on the show. It used to be they call them a sleepy fish because if you don't know what you're looking for, you literally can drive right by them and never even know you drove right by them.
Absolutely, and that's what's crazy is talking about the pressure. I've noticed over the past 2 years, especially, it's like because there's so many more people chasing them now, they aren't up and as about as they used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll still see some up top from time to time, but they are heavy pressured and they're staying down a lot more than they used to, in my opinion. Maybe that's just a coincidence, but something I've been noticing. And you find a fish, a lot of times they're not nearly as willing to eat as they used to be.
Yeah, and I guess that's the good thing about social media and the bad thing. The good thing is people who don't know about them, and the bad thing is now the people who don't know about them know about them, and now they're it used to be just like it used to be cobia on the Gulf Coast. It used to be a select few cobia guys, diehard cobia guys. It used to be a select few diehard tripletail guys, and now it seems like the internet's kind of opened it up for everybody.
That's right. Everybody sees that picture of that big prehistoric looking fish.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I
Yeah,
want to go
absolutely.
try to catch one.
And spoiler, they're delicious.
Yeah, that's the other problem is, nobody wants to put one back because they're delicious.
Yeah. So tell us, Mississippi Tripletail is what's the size limit in Tripletail, Mississippi?
18 inches.
18. Is that the same in Alabama?
It is. It's the
Okay.
same pretty much throughout the Gulf Coast.
So Texas all the way to Louisiana, 18 inches.
That's my understanding.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That'll work. And then last year you decided to put this tournament in. Tell us about the rules, the regulations, and how you set the tournament up.
So last year was all catch and release. This year we've made a couple changes. One thing is you're going to be allowed to enter up to 3 fish per month that you can actually keep. They just have to be every fish entered has to be over the 18-inch minimum because we don't want people targeting small fish and potentially hurting them trying to rack up their stats.
Right.
But and every fish over 25 inches has to be released. So you can keep the fish in that kind of slot. We created up to 3 a month and still enter them into the tournament because last year we had some people worried about whether they could keep on and eat them and whatnot. So we don't want to say you can't keep one. We just want people to be responsible and to think about it instead of killing everyone they catch. To kind of be mindful of it and take what they need and leave the rest.
Is it almost like speckled trout? Once they get a certain age, the big breeders they just breed out.
Yeah,
bigger than they are.
They still don't know a lot. They're still studying pretty hard, and their lifespan's actually remarkably short for as big as they get. I mean, they're from what I've heard, they're about 7 to 8 years, maybe 9, 10 years max. So they grow exceptionally fast,
right?
And that's part of it is the breeding stock. I mean, it's not like a redfish that breed for 15, 20 years. It's they got about a 4 or 5 year window, and
they got to get it done quick.
And then it's done.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with the show, but our friend Brian Butler was on here, and he has the aquaculture at Ocean Springs.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he grows tripletail and redfish and speckled trout. It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've got a hatchery over in Alabama, but I don't think they've delved into tripletail yet. I know they're doing some speckled trout and flounder, and maybe even some redfish. But I didn't realize until I heard that about them doing tripletail in the hatchery. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, so 6 months though. That's a long time for a tournament, right?
Well, actually, our goal was to be 12 months this year to bring it into focus for some of the South Florida people because apparently their season after I got some feedback last year that their season runs that they're hot and heavy in that January, February, March, April time frame, and then it starts petering out for them. So we were trying to get it up and running, but as this is a volunteer effort for me, it kind of got we had it about ready to launch, and then when we decided to go 12 months, we realized we were giving an advantage to some people that might be in a 9 to 10 month fishery.
Right.
So we had to figure out a way to equalize that to make a level playing field, and what we came up with was you're going to get a 6 month window.
Okay.
And didn't really anticipate the problems that was going to create in formatting the tournament, which it created some nuances that we had to overcome, and we've got to overcome for next year. But we're going to officially start May 1st. You can buy your tickets now if you want,
Okay.
but you can't enter a fish until May 1st or beyond.
I want to go back to the slot thing, right? So 18 to 25, you said. Once fishing begins, May.
Well, now 18 to 25 is just for the fish that you're allowed 3 to keep per month. So,
okay.
The biggest fish, I mean, if you catch a 31 incher, which I think it was 31 or 31 and a half that won last year.
That's a toad.
Oh, it was a toad.
Yeah.
I saw it myself. But if you catch that fish, you got to release it to enter it. But so
walk me through that process. How because Joey and I, we've talked about it before. We do a tournament single day. That's enough logistical of a nightmare to do just a one-day thing. Catch the fish, kill the fish, bring the fish to us. We put it on a scale. We weigh it. We're caveman. We could figure that out. Right. So how are we doing it in your tournament where we're releasing some fish, we're keeping some fish? How does that go down?
So everything's in the rules, but Fishing Chaos, who's our tournament administrator, is a software, and you can get it on your phone, you can get it on a computer, iPad, whatever. And you will do your entries through there. So you log your entries, you take a picture per the rules, and then if it's over the slot limit or you've already kept your 3 for the month and you want to, you need to release this one, enter it into the most fish, because we have a most fish, total inches caught, and longest. And then so if you want to enter that, if it needs to be released, you have to provide video documentation of it being released. And last year we had a Google Drive. Everybody had their own folder. They upload their videos. That was how we were going to do it this year, but we've got a professional judging crew that we brought on this year, and they actually have the ability to do text, take the video via text. So we're finalizing that now. We're doing a little experimentation, make sure that that's going to go off without a hitch versus the way we did it last year, which worked, but it was cumbersome.
Right.
So that's how we do that. But basically in the rules, it tells you how you have to take the picture, how you have to release the fish, and then
that's a lot of technology involved in what.
Yeah, it's like a new age.
Y'all ever get anybody like I could just see some of the people
like my grandpa.
Yeah,
I ain't doing all that.
I can't. How the hell am I do all that?
I had a couple old salts like that last year.
Yeah, I got a flip phone.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know about flip phone if you could participate, but if you have a smartphone, we can teach you how to do it. They've got all kinds of how-to videos. The Fishing Chaos guys do a good job of having that stuff readily available to make it to where even my dad, who's very computer illiterate, can figure it out.
Okay.
And refresh me, I think I remember each state has its own.
We have the ability
tournament.
to have a regional tournament. You got to have 10 anglers register a fish, 10 different anglers register a fish in each state. So we got Louisiana as a state, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida's divided into 3 divisions. And then if you have 10 different people register a fish, then there's a different side pot just for that area. But we also this year we added a kids division, and it's a discounted ticket, but they just have to be they have to be fishing with a guardian that's got a ticket, a regular open ticket. And then we also have a guide division, and in the guide division, if a guide participates in the open division, his customers will be allowed to purchase a 1-day ticket for $50, and that's a kind of a side pot. So that we had some people that I had some customers that actually bought tickets to fish the tournament and fish 2 or 3 times with me last year, just trying to get the biggest fish.
Right.
But we thought this might be a way that guides could get more of their customers involved, especially if they're going on Tripletail trips. And so that's going to be a separate little side pot that the guide and the winning angler will split.
Yeah, that puts a little value add on the trip for them, for the guide, right? Because you're more into it if you're the person buying the trip. There's a little extra added.
Well, now he's working.
Yeah.
He's working. Yeah.
Well, and it's exciting for the customer.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
It's like, I thought we were just taking a trip, but now I'm in a tournament.
Yeah.
So, and last year we gave away $19,000 in cash and prizes.
Wow.
And we had it spread across, a pretty wide swath. It was kind of interesting how it all panned out. The guy that, he was really dominating 2 categories, but the other guy, he stayed just strong enough in all 3 categories, and he overtook him for the grand champion. That was Jordan Todd out of Apalachicola. And then, we had a terrible year in Alabama and Mississippi for fish last year. I mean, it was just terrible. I mean, there were not fish to be seen. And the longest fish came out of Alabama. And there was a lot of people that were singing the blues. We don't have any fish. We don't have any fish.
Right.
And this guy, Todd Kircher, pulls up and he says, "Look like a suitcase laying up there."
Now, I know we got some Tripletail guys. I don't know if they're listening, but I know they know where the studs are. So I don't know if they know about this tournament or not.
We didn't have a lot of Mississippi participation last year. I was kind of surprised, as I thought those guys would give a stronger showing.
There's 4 or 5 people I know that just destroy Tripletail and big Tripletail. Now, explain this. If I'm registered in Mississippi, do I have to fish in Mississippi waters?
No. So your open ticket covers anywhere, and basically anywhere in the United States, but you're only going to catch them in the Gulf of Mexico, maybe on the eastern seaboard a little bit. But you can. We had guys last year that fished Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana. 4 different states. So your ticket, the regionals are not extra dollars. You just, when you're registering, you say, "Oh, I might fish that region, so go ahead and register that. It's zero cost." And then you can, when you're in those waters, the app knows that you're in those waters from your photo, and you can submit it to that regional category.
Okay, so I could technically win the Mississippi regional and still fish Florida and have a fish weight over there too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's all based off where the fish is caught.
Right.
That's right.
And so if you didn't click the box that said you want to participate in Louisiana and you were over in Louisiana when you caught it, the app would say, "Hey, you're in Louisiana, you just took the photo and you're not registered for Louisiana."
Right. But everybody gets that ticket, so we could fix that if that's that we had that instance last year where, because there's no cost associated with the ticket.
Right. So why not just register for all of them?
Yeah.
Because we need something to do with the software. I can't remember what the reason behind it, because I said the same thing.
Yeah, I just register for everybody.
Right.
But on the it's something to do on the software side. So they need to know, like, because when you're I think it's when you're entering in the entry, you have to declare which state it is.
It probably goes off your address and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, you have to declare what state it's in, but it won't be in the drop down box unless you said, "I want that ticket, that ticket, that ticket," because it's like pre-populated or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense.
We've dealt with that as well.
Yeah.
Software stuff like that. Yeah. It's fun shit.
It's over my head.
Yeah,
but I got those guys to help me out with it.
Just click the box, man. Come on, just click the box.
Yeah.
So
and the judges can fix, if there's any errors made, the judges can fix. They have the ability to, fix any erroneous errors.
Now, you said this is new. Did you have the judges last year?
No, last year I had to do it all on my own, and that was a daunting task.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
one-legged man, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Smartened up a little bit. Yeah. Experience is a great teacher.
Do you have a judge for each state now, or do you have a committee?
So it's actually a third party that's all they do is they judge fishing tournaments, and they're based out of California, and they have a judge in California, one I think up in New York, and then I forget what the third one is. It's nowhere near here. But it'll be assigned to one of their 3 judges, and they will judge all the entries and do everything that I had to do.
So there's no bias. They don't even know you.
That's right. And
yeah,
they don't even. We had some people, whining about the location stuff that were participating in the regional categories. And they're like, "I don't want people to know where I'm fishing." I'm like, "Well, number one, that fish isn't going to be there after you catch them.
No.
But number 2, nobody can see it but the judge. And so now it's somebody.
He lives in California. Yeah.
Right.
He's not going to come steal your.
There's no excuses anymore.
He's not going to come steal your crab pot.
And it's not even completely. They call it fuzzy, where it's approximate. So it was really unfounded worry. But as y'all know, running fishing tournaments, if somebody's worried about something, find a way to fix it. Then they can't make that as an excuse.
That's right.
I agree with you on that. If somebody has a valid, if it meant enough for them to complain about it, see if you can fix it. But some people like to just complain.
Oh yeah.
Well, you Tripletail, you're going to find something floating. You're going to find a buoy. You're going to find a channel mark or something like. If you can pinpoint that, especially if it's floating or something like that, you're doing a heck of a job.
Yeah.
You got better GPS than I got.
Yeah,
and
wind and everything else.
Yeah, kudos to the app though for blurring it, like you said, like not being too precise on the location.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but it's not like speckled trout holes. People, you go to a spot that holds trout certain times of the year,
they'll be there.
They'll be there.
Right.
But the tripletail fishing is not like that. People don't understand that.
No, he's going to be one crab buoy the first time. They're going to be on another crab buoy.
I tagged one fish one time. That fish was 25 miles in 3 days from where I tagged it when it was recaptured.
Yeah.
In 3 days.
Yeah.
Chomping on shrimp.
Yeah.
He's moving. So it sounds like you've learned a little bit. I know we have on our end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes he's like, okay, we're going to do that different this year. Then that creates a set of problems. But
well, you think when you go into it guns blazing, you're like, oh, I can do it all. And then you're like, oh, It
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, it's
I
just
don't
a
want
lot
to
of
do it
leg. It's a
anymore.
lot
Yeah.
of leg work.
It's amazing the amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
I've got to give credit to my wife for putting up with some of
Well,
the
and
long hours.
yours is stretched out over 6 months. I mean, how does that work for you? Is it constantly just logging into that software and kind of seeing where you're at?
Well,
with
last
things?
year, I'd basically go on to just about every day or every other day and judge the entries and do all that stuff.
That's what I want to ask. What does that mean, judge the entry? Does that mean
That
per
means
the software?
look at the picture. Make
Okay.
sure that it is like I had some people that were being a quarter inch generous with their measurements.
Right.
And I had one guy.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I had one guy that was shorting himself. And he's like, well, you don't have to fix that, because it gives the angler a notification when it's fixed. I said, no, you don't understand. I have an average Joe because we have an average Joe category to try to make it to where it's worthwhile. I mean, the guy last year was a 20-inch tripletail, was either 20 or 22 inches, won the average Joe pot, which was a few $1,000s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the guys. That's just the regular everyday Joes.
Well, no, it's whoever has the fish closest to the average length.
Oh, okay.
And so
All
that's
right,
why
my
it was
fault.
important to have his entries be correct because, if his entries, if he does 10 entries that are quarter inch off, that skews the average Joe.
Correct.
So that, so anyone's going judging, you have to look at the pictures, make sure it's what they called it. And then you have to look at the video and make sure the release was what it was supposed to be if it's supposed to be released. And this year, there's going to be an added duty that they're going to have to look and say, okay, they claim this fish was a keep fish. Have they kept 3 already this month? So it needs to be disqualified, or is that one of the 3 that they can keep?
Holy moly. I see why you hired a team.
That's right. Yeah.
It
was hard enough last year.
Your eyes are going to be crossed looking at that screen.
That's
right.
I wouldn't be down with that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's what did the numbers look like last year?
So I think we released over 2,400 inches of fish and right over 100 fish put back in the water to go back and make some more and maybe give somebody else an opportunity to have a chance at catching a fun fish.
What about? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So we're doing. Obviously, you're taking the photo over a scale, right?
Well, we got a designated ruler, which is the Check It stick, and they make a couple different models.
Mm-hmm.
We had one guy that last year he caught a big fish. He didn't realize he only had the 30-inch Check It stick.
So it wasn't long enough?
It wasn't long enough. So then he had to run down somebody with the 38-inch.
Whoa.
And keep the
I've never had that problem.
No.
and keep the fish alive.
Yeah.
While he's trying to run. And he's calling everybody who knows his brother and trying to get a Check It stick brought out to him. He finally found somebody that would bring him
That's
one.
the concave kayak Check It stick?
No, it's the metal one. It's just the easiest, most readily available, most cost-effective one.
Right.
And a lot of people already have it, so that's why we picked it.
Okay. And that's on the I'm sure that's on the rules when you register. You got to have this, that.
It's very the judges told me that these were the most detailed rules they'd ever seen. I said, well, I didn't want to leave anything up to chance.
Yeah, you got to, man. That ain't it's got to be in black and white, or
somebody will find a discrepancy.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah. So no weight though. That's what I was gonna say. This is all based on weight.
There's just no way to try to have this tournament over the size distance we are. I mean, the technology is getting better. They have some of these scales that you can integrate into these tournaments, but they're a little expensive. I mean, we might be there one day where we can swap to a weight format, but to promote the conservation aspect,
right? You'd have to kill them, right? Or
pretty much. Well, I mean, they'd be out of the water for a long time.
Or you put them in a live bait.
Well, no, they have these little scales now that can interact with these apps, but they're expensive. So you'd have to buy one for every single person.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was thinking like designated weigh station that has something like that. Keep them alive, bring them there, weigh them, and then release right there. But that would be very involved.
It would be, and you're probably going to end up killing a lot of, have a lot more mortality.
Because they're probably not a fish that does very well.
They do well.
They're pretty tough.
They're pretty hardy. They do well in live wells, but the thing is, once you take them out of the live well, then you're walking it up to the scale,
right?
Doing all
this, hanging
things.
them, yeah.
I mean, and some people, they got these. Like in Alabama, we have a lot of, like flatter scales, but I've noticed over here on some tournaments I fish, they do it by hanging scale.
Yeah,
you hang a fish by its jaw, its neck's breaking, and it's not going to live.
Yeah.
I mean, you even have to be careful with boga grip. I mean, if you got a big enough fish, you got to support that belly to keep it from, hurting itself while it's on the boga grip.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's a lot. That makes me anxiety just thinking about all that.
Yeah.
You did smart by subbing that out.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way. Last year it almost killed me. And, I had to put that in somebody else's hands.
Yeah. What did the state participation look like?
Honestly, we didn't have a state that qualified last year that had, I think, we had our highest concentration of Alabama anglers, and the fishing was just so terrible in Alabama last year that we didn't have that region qualify. I think that one was the only region that was going to qualify. Florida, if it hadn't been broken into 3 regions, could have qualified.
Right.
But since they were broken in 3 regions, that prevented them from qualifying. We thought about unifying them, but again, they've got different kind of fisheries over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And usually Mobile Bay is money.
Oh yeah.
Usually.
And it was terrible last year.
So what happens then if it doesn't get the region? Do the region pots go to the bigger pot?
They go to the bigger pots.
Okay.
So basically, it just skews how much money goes into the 3 main pots. So that's why the paydays were so big last year. I mean, we had a few people walk out with a few $1,000s.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, that's always something important. Like, what's the tiers on the payouts, the prizes? How's that going down?
So we've got some sponsors that donate some prize packs, and that's one level. That stuff, gets divvied up. We basically divided it up amongst the different categories last year on the prizes that we had, and then all the cash gets paid back out to the winners.
Right.
So I mean, basically, the higher the participation, the higher the payouts.
Okay, so that's ever evolving as people.
It depends on how many people register.
It depends on how many people register, how many sponsors we pick up. We're already doing better this year on sponsorships than we did last year. So hopefully, if we get more participation this year, we can double that payout.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he mentioned some of the categories already, right? Can we
you did the regionals.
So we got longest fish.
Right.
Got most fish caught.
Okay.
Most total inches caught. Which is,
okay.
Because that can be different. Somebody could be catching a bunch of 18-inch, 19-inch fish and run up that count, but you have the guy that just, stays steady and catching 26-inch fish, and he can surpass him in the total inches.
Now,
category.
these are the main?
Those are the 3 main categories.
Okay.
And then Average Joe is also, it doesn't factor into the 3 main categories, but it's still, a guaranteed payout on the bigger level. But the 3 main categories, longest, most fish, and most inches, those calculate a formula to crown the grand champion. And like Killer Dock is one of our sponsors, and they gave away, I don't know if y'all have seen this Killer Dock fish cleaning stations.
Is that the
aluminum?
Yeah.
And all that stuff they gave away last year, and the grand champion won that. And I mean, that thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called a Killer Dock for a reason.
Yeah, it's killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so what?
And so that I didn't finish.
Yeah.
So then, aside from that, we'll have the youth category, and then we'll have the guided division, which are their own separate pots, and then the regional categories for the regions that qualify.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's 10
different anglers registering a fish in that region.
And it seems like you should have that.
You should. You'd be surprised. Louisiana was another place we got close, but we didn't have as much participation there as I thought we would. Because those guys down there, they catch some fish.
Pile of them.
Yeah.
I figure Mobile Bay, you catch 10 in one day.
Oh, you normally, used to could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not last year.
Used to could.
It would last year was bad for Tripletail, man. I don't understand why.
But that's crazy. It was bad. But the guy that won it, he was fishing in one of the toughest places to fish last year because there weren't fish, and he caught the biggest fish. So you never know.
That's how it is, though. That's how fishing is. You don't ever know.
Yeah.
Any day could be your day.
If you don't have that ticket, that was like the Star Tournament in Alabama last year.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 or 3 guys. CCA is another sponsor of ours, but they put on a Star Tournament in Alabama last year. There was 2 or 3 guys that caught the tag fish, which was like a $70,000 boat.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a $25. I think it was $25 for the ticket, maybe 40 something.
I think the first 2 years in Texas and Louisiana, both the guys who caught it weren't registered in the tournament and caught it.
And I mean, it's the
$70,000.
$70,000.
Just looking at it right there.
For 25 bones.
Yeah. That's a very good investment.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can turn $25 into $70,000.
Especially for 6 months. But I think the Star Tournament, if I'm not wrong, it's all year.
No, in Alabama, I think each state does it differently. They write their own rules. But in Alabama, it's just redfish. It's not trout and redfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they run from May-ish or June till maybe September.
So it's about 6 months like y'all's too.
No, it's more like 3 or 4, I think.
Okay, all right.
And what they did is they still gave away the boat, and everybody that bought a ticket was entered into a drawing, and
they just drew it out.
Yeah, it was just a raffle for
and old boy had it sitting in the bottom of his boat, and he didn't register.
He couldn't do anything with it.
So how do you do the weigh? I'm gonna call it the weigh-in because that's how we do it. But so once the tournament ends, you said it's a live leaderboard. So
yeah, Fishing Chaos keeps up with it. They have all the stats published. You can look at it, as the tournament's
But
going
is there a day where everybody gets to come together and hang out and,
and last year
shoot
we were,
confetti and stuff like that?
Well, we can't, having people from all across the country or the Southeast, we were able to get everybody together, and there was a mishap on my part with one of the participants. We had a miscommunication about what date we were doing, but we got everybody but one person here, and it was my fault.
Just he showed up a week late.
Well, no, thank God he didn't show up a week early. He would have showed up a week late, but we worked it out.
He was like, I just saw that y'all had the thing. What happened?
Exactly.
I've been sitting here all week.
Prom was supposed to be next week. Like, no, not for you.
But he was a good sport about it, and but we got everybody together. We had a little get together over at one of the restaurants on the Causeway, and gave out all the prizes and showed everybody what we were giving away, and showed, had the big checks and whatnot, and we had a good time with it.
Okay, was that all on your website or your Facebook page? Or y'all put it out on all your social stuff?
We're going to. I was waiting to put it out until we got this one ready to launch, which I thought we were going to be launching in November.
Yeah.
And because of the unforeseen hiccups, now we got to push that content out. So we'll show everybody. We published who won, but we got a bunch of pictures and stuff to show folks.
Yeah. So the Fishing Chaos, if we just go to the Fishing Chaos website, it will walk us through how to enter tournament, how to do the fish, and everything like that, right?
Yeah, just search on their platform, search Tripletail Championship, and you hit register, and it'll start walking you all the way through.
We need to check that out.
I'm gonna see if I can get on there right now. If y'all keep going, I got it pulled up. I could probably screen share it. You said just search. Here we go. Yep, right here.
So how'd the merch do last? See, you got the merch all over the place, huh?
Yeah. So that's my company hat, but this was the shirts.
Tripletail Championship.
I don't know if y'all see that.
That's Craig. It's got to be Craig.
Yeah, Craig did that design.
Yeah.
If I can get him to quit turkey hunting, I'm trying to get him
to. Well, he's raising turtles and growing tomatoes and turkey hunting.
He is a true Renaissance man. That's right. If there ever was one.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's going to be. I've got an idea, and hopefully he'll be able to work his magic and bring it to fruition for us again this year. But he does a wonderful job, and he did a great job with the shirt. We sold him last year, but honestly, we had some of the guys in the tournament come to us say, hey, we'd like to keep that as kind of like a badge of honor, and knowing that,
Oh, so whoever entered got a shirt. Yeah, nobody else.
Everybody got a shirt that entered last year.
Okay.
But we also had them for sale, and some of the guys that fished it said, hey, I don't want somebody to just be able to go buy a shirt, pay for the shirt. I want them to compete with me.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. My aunt passed away this past winter, and I flew down to Tampa to go to the wedding, and I'm in the airport, and a guy walks up
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I fished your tournament last year. Yeah. I fished that tournament last year. So, I'm the guy that put it together, and we got to meet over. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man.
Yeah, cool. Do like participant only shirts, like you're saying, and if you wanted to sell some, do a different design.
Yeah, totally different.
Have something that's
Yeah, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, that way you can still make money off of merch, but it doesn't dilute the people who participated.
Then you had to pay Craig twice. He ain't cheap.
But the only hard part is the cost of the shirts. It's not really a profit center, so we weren't making much off of it. And then I was having to package them up, and because people were buying them from all over the country.
Right.
When you get shipping into it, you can hang it up. You ain't making no money off.
Yeah. This day and time, it's not like it used to be.
No, it's $7 to ship a t-shirt.
Yeah, $7. That's exactly what it was. $7 to mail a shirt.
You know what you got to do? You got to up the price. I mean,
that's
why when you go online, you see it's just a t-shirt. Why is it $46? That's why.
Yeah, shipping's 15.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. I got it pulled up on here. Let me see if I can share it across the screen. You'll see it over there.
Yeah,
on the delay. But this is what you'll see when you go. Let me see. Can I make that full screen here? Like this? Yeah, there we go. So this is what you'll see on the Fishing Chaos site. You can see it says right there, view rules and register. It's got all the dates on it. What else here? It's a pretty cool website, just from what little bit I've messed around on it. But let's click. If you click, oh wow, how many pages is this? 13 pages worth of rules.
Dang, you ain't lying.
We covered it.
Yeah, that's
we didn't want any gray.
It's in black and white, baby.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we got it. 13 pages. I like that.
But you won't believe how many people will pay money to enter a fishing tournament. I had a guy last year. He did not read the rules, went out, caught a bunch of fish early, and he could not enter any of them because he did not read the rules.
We've done it. I think our tournament last year, we always set a slot on reds, and we get to the weigh-in, and there's dude pulls out a 33-inch, 34-inch redfish, and I'm like, That ain't it, man.
Yeah.
That ain't it, man.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
See,
But
I'm the type of person, I read them before I register, and I read them the night before. And then there's
Mhm.
some people, they just register and they go.
Not at all. Yeah, that website looks pretty legit though. You got to create an account, obviously, and
And I'm guessing there's an app for that.
Oh yeah,
as
they
well.
have an app,
Yeah.
and it's completely interactive. These guys are on cutting edge of
Yeah,
technology.
yeah.
And it does a lot more stuff too. Like you can keep your fish log for your personal self on through the app, and you can, if you log a fish that you're catching, like trying to make some notes for yourself, then you can enter it in, say enter this one into this tournament, enter that one into that tournament if you're fishing multiple tournaments. It's a really robust app.
Yeah, and I think if you get a membership, right, you were talking earlier, it might be a little cheaper to enter the tournament.
So, well, they have a membership that you can buy. I forget what it is. I think it's either a monthly membership or an annual membership. And if you get that, you basically can enter any of their tournaments. And they're hosting thousands of tournaments a year. And so if you buy their membership, you can enter any of their tournaments for free if you get a membership with them.
Okay,
we're gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, we're gonna. I did last time you were on, but I don't. Some of the other things that we talked about before we went live, I need to dig back into that and just see, because I want to up our digital side of things when it comes to the tournament that we do.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's a good way to promote sponsors that you get their name out there. People are looking at leaderboards and whatnot, and all that stuff's on there.
What are you sending all the traffic to register to that app, to that site?
Yeah, so the link from our website
takes you straight there.
Forwards you there.
Okay.
I need to check the link. I think the link's still posted. I mean, connected to last year's tournament, so I need to re-update the link.
Yeah.
Because I looked at that right before we left, or before I left to come over here, and I think I was like, oh, gotta fix that.
Yeah. Hopefully, if we can send some people your way, we want to
absolutely
hit the right link. I could probably and I can drop it down in here right now. As a matter of fact, too, that's another cool thing. I can click.
Yeah, if you
in
just
the
take
comment
that link
section.
to the top, yeah, put it in
so
there.
if anybody, you're watching right now on the live or on the replay, just it's in the.
But there's contact information on our website too. If you run into any problems, you can reach out.
Yeah. I like that, man. I like the digital aspect of it, like stepping up the technology game. And you said not too much pushback on it, so people can, they've been able to manage it.
Yeah, I mean, it's once you get used to it, it's just like anything new. It's cumbersome when you first look at it, and you're like, this is too much work. But then once you get into the group, it's not that bad.
Yeah, just a picture. It's way easier going to weigh it. Yeah, I think.
I mean, hell, we had one guy fish by himself last year, and he won a bunch of money too. But he fished solo a lot of the time, so he figured out how to photo and video himself releasing them, meeting all the parameters. He bought a little stand that he hooked his center console, and did the videos and did everything.
Yeah, I would just give you a GoPro on a chest strap and just rock and roll and film the whole thing.
You probably got to be your face in it, I would think, at some point,
right?
At
some point,
for the release part. So just put it on your.
Or
like the clamp,
you can
I can flip it all the way around. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, if Joey can figure it out,
I just figured it out right here.
Yeah, it's easy.
And I've only had 3 beers.
Hey, a lot of world's problems been solved with 3 beers.
You're right.
You're right. Smart man. Well, so we already mentioned it. We're sending them to. Did you get your notes pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go
over
that.
I'd like to thank some of my sponsors.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep,
I didn't want to put you on the spot because I didn't know if you had them, but
no, I got them.
Yeah.
So Islamorada and Stewart Boatworks, they're a sponsor of ours. I run Islamorada Boatworks. If y'all had never, rode on one of those boats, they're just a great riding bay hole that they've got designed. And then if you're into the offshore stuff, which isn't my game, but their Stewart Boatworks is a parabolic offshore type boat, high sides, deep V.
Okay.
But the fit and finish that they do with their product is just unbelievable. I actually got my next boat going in the mold here this week or next. So
that's what I'm talking about.
That'll be my 3rd one. So I'm a believer in their product.
There it is.
And then we've got the Killer Dot guys we talked about a little while ago. They're donating another station this year to the tournament. And then we've got Hub International, which is an insurance company that's sponsored the tournament. We've got Shimano and Power Pro that have donated some prize packets. We've got Smith sunglasses, Smith Optics.
Those are blowing up, man.
Man, I've been wearing them for about 3 or 4 years.
It used to be coast to coast, Costa, whatever you want to call it. Now they sold out, and then their customer service went.
That and
everybody
their
Smith.
quality, and that's how I found Smith. Is I was just looking for a different answer because I was tired of the quality.
Dude, I bought one and broke it 3 times, and the 3rd time they were like, "We're not replacing it." I was like, "Well, I'm going somewhere else."
Yeah. See, and I had the opposite experience. I sent them a message. I broke some glasses I had with no receipt. They were 4 years old or more, and they're like, "We don't make those anymore, that style." But they're like, here's the new style, which is the one I liked anyway, and they just replaced them.
Well, I must have got the Karen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Customer
It was
service Karen.
because I was like, I don't have a receipt. I can't tell you what. Really, I was like, 17, 16. I don't know what year it was. And they're like, send the pictures, and I did. I sent pictures in, and they were like, here's 3 different options that are the closest to that you can choose from, and they sent me in whole new ones.
How's Smith? Have you ever had to deal with them?
No, because I mean, I'm still got my original. I mean, I bought additional pairs, but I still have the original pair I bought and still going strong.
Smith, I don't feel like I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, that's what I think Mr. Kenny's got them. There's a lot.
I was
gonna
say, what's the ones he's been pushing?
Smith, they weren't Smith, but he has those. He's got another brand he's pushing too.
Their lenses are so light though, and that was my problem. I always wanted to use polycarbonate lenses, and they seem to delaminate in other brands. But Smith has a ChromaPop technology, and they figured it out. And they don't delaminate, and so it's a lot of weight savings if you don't want to wear glass lenses.
Yeah, see, I usually wear glass, but
I used to be that way, but now
they're lighter and better.
Well, just because I'm wearing them so much and out there all day, I mean, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
and I'm not losing any quality. I'm not losing any polarization view in the water. I mean, I can still find the fish when I'm looking and running. So, I mean, I'm a believer in them.
There it is.
I like that. That's a pitch right there.
CCA Alabama is another sponsor. Will too. McCoy's Outdoors and the Saltwater Fanatics guys over there in Mobile.
We know those guys.
We met
him once or twice.
Yeah.
He actually still owes some money.
Justin's
real good. Yeah, Justin's a good guy. Yeah.
And then we've got a few more Chandelier Brewing Company, and then we've got a couple others we hope to announce real soon. So
Cam and Kane, they're big Tripletail guys.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna be over there. I'll be over there probably 2 weeks from now for Shandy Fest if we don't fish that Cobia tournament. So we'll be hanging out over there.
They do a wonderful job with their facility.
Yeah,
and their beers are
amazing. If they had it at the gas station, I'd have bought it. Besides this, but they don't have it at the gas station down there.
I need to go talk to those guys.
That's right.
Yeah, it went. We didn't make it through the list yet.
No, we're there. Like the rest of them, we can't announce just yet.
Okay.
All right. Are you're still taking sponsors though?
We are still taking sponsors. Yes.
Okay. And is there a sponsor form, or where can we find that?
Yeah, they can email me jay@irishwakefishing.com, and I can send them the sponsorship package.
Okay.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. Sounds like a good tournament to me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
How's
the charter boat fishing going over there in Mobeezy way?
It's been good. Things really picked up starting spring break. I mean, we had a decent winter trout fishery this year, which a lot of people don't understand. They think fishing is just a summertime deal. But down here in the South, I mean,
I love it when it's cold.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best fishing is when it's cold and you can get in those artificial bites. We fish a lot of slick lures over there, and that time of year they really get keyed in on those mullet.
Yeah,
and that's just a fun bite. But the spring bite's starting to heat up, excuse me, and hopefully we can keep the rain was at bay, and then we got hot and we're like, oh man, it's going to bust loose like wide open real early, and then we got that cold front that came through and snapped everything, and it pushed us back. Then we started getting all this upstate rain, so now we're dealing with a little dirty water, but it's clean. It's clean. It's just starting to clean up again. But guess what? They're saying it's going to rain at the end.
Front right out
just
right
in time.
Yeah, right out to push it right back out there.
Oh, I love the weather.
But it's getting warmer, and we're seeing the water temperature tick up. It was crazy. I saw it shoot up to 76, 77 as high one day when that first heat wave came through, and then it dropped down like 10, 12 degrees. And those fish, they were out on the flats doing their thing, and then they just retreated and went back to hiding.
Yeah. So what? Tell us the name of your charter again.
It's Irish Wake Fishing,
and it's out of Mobile, right? Mobile Bay,
Mobile, and Dauphin Island.
There we go. Yeah, if anybody over that way, we just had Joey sent me a picture. We had some people coming down from Oxford. Tell them that story.
The shrimp boat.
Yeah.
So we had a shrimp boat guy on here yesterday, Mr. Captain Mike, and he was I guess he had some guys coming in that were shooting clays up the road, and
they came from Oxford.
And we're listening to the dang podcast and heard the shrimp boat podcast, and then came down here and did the shrimp boat. So hopefully,
that's awesome.
Hopefully we'll get some guys from up north and even Alabama and stuff like that to come in and fish.
Well, I mean, we had some cool stuff happen like that last year. We had a guy that he's a grandfather to his grandson, and it was his son who passed away. And so he wanted to do something, and the father and the son did a lot of fishing together. And I think the boy was probably in the 10, 12-year range. And he wanted to do something fun with his grandson to, kind of honor that thing that they used to do together.
Yeah.
And so he chartered me a couple times, and then he went over to Louisiana and charged somebody, went down to Florida and charged somebody, and he just kind of made like a trail of it over the summertime. And that kid he caught some fish and just had a ball doing it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Now I got on one of y'all sites and I saw a belt. Was there a belt or something on there?
We have.
It's kind of like the belts like we do.
Oh yeah, it's like a real.
People love it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a real deal WWF style belt.
Absolutely.
I mean, this thing's expensive. What's crazy, the guy that won it last year. So, excuse me. We had, we basically said, okay, if you win the belt, you get all of your prize money, except the value of the belt to make sure you give back. Because what we wanted to do is, if you don't defend the belt,
he's going to keep the belt and say keep the cash, right?
He did.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I could have told you that right out the gate.
Well,
keep the money, then I'm keeping the belt.
It's an expensive belt, though, so I was really surprised.
Still, this is men you're talking about. It's bragging.
Now, see, we wanted to do that, too, the first time. Like, I wanted to just have one belt and take it back and, like, put a name on it. So where we could keep it every year.
Too much to keep up with.
That's too much to keep up with, but it would be cool to see.
Well, I thought about that, too, but something about when they set the plates, if you get one made like the real WWF style, they can't pull them off. So you would have to be basically reconstructing it.
Right.
Anyway,
or have to get somebody to engrave it.
Yeah, or you could engrave it.
Yeah. But that would be cool, like,
because I want to put everybody's name on it.
Yeah. So we're young in our tournaments. We're third year, you're second year. Yeah. So if we could you imagine Patalos, Gornflows, Kenny, dude, all beat up. But how cool would it be to see all the names of everybody who won it?
You could do that on something different, like still give out the belt and then have your
own have like a website or something like that. But it wouldn't
whatever.
Be cool.
But we wanted it to be where somebody can hold it.
Yeah, I want to hold it,
and they got to defend it and get it back the next year. Or they got to hand it over like the Green Jacket.
I want to run out like the Ultimate Warrior, dude. When I get on this stage
for our tournament, we're year 3.
Yes.
This will be 4.
Yes.
So 3. So the same guy won it year 1 and then came back year 2, brought year 1's belt.
Yes.
Won year 2's belt. We called him the champ.
He looked like the heavyweight. He looked like Hulk Hogan walking out with all the belts.
And then, like year 3 last year, we and him were like talking because he entered again. And we're like, man, if he wins again, people are going to think that something's up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not rooting against the guy, but damn, it's going to be hard to explain. Like people are going to be asking questions. He didn't win.
Yeah,
so
that's
somebody else got the belt.
I can speak from other tournaments I've been a part of. If you have one guy come in and dominate, it can be bad for business.
Yeah,
and the bad thing is he's fishing. All these other people are fishing all these big fancy boats. He's fishing out of a 16-foot skiff with a tiller steer.
Oh, that's great.
Which is cool with his 2 belts. We should have took a picture of that with like flames going out and everything. That would have been awesome.
The reason why we picked that fish for us on the Sheep's Head is because we wanted that kind of story. We wanted people fishing off a pier. We didn't want you to have a big boat or any boat to be able to participate in the tournament.
Absolutely. That's an awesome concept.
It was fun. It was real fun. But when's registration go live?
It's live now.
Okay, so if you want to get in there, get going.
We still got a little work to do on the platform, but I'm supposed to talk to those guys tomorrow and try to get everything polished up and finished. But if you want to get registered right now, it's live.
When's the cutoff then? Is there a cutoff?
There's no cutoff.
Okay.
You just have to buy your ticket 24 hours in advance of catching a fish. So if you catch a fish at noon on Tuesday, you better have been registered before noon on Monday.
Gotcha.
So you can hold off to register until you got a trip coming or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. But if you don't register, you're going to catch that big one early.
Correct. Oh, there's no doubt.
Or you're going to forget.
No doubt.
You're going to forget.
Yeah.
And you're going to miss the 24-hour window, and that's when
you're So then technically, then you can register all the way up until 24 hours before you announce the winners, the cutoff of the tournament.
Exactly. Nobody does that, but
right. I'm just saying, that's the cutoff.
Yeah.
That's the cutoff. Okay.
We're ready.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anything we can do to help you out if you want to come on and show the pictures of the way in and all that stuff. We'll blast
or do tag us in any of
I'll tag y'all when I start. Now that we've got the link. I didn't want to post that stuff till we had the link ready for people to register.
Right.
But now, so we're going to start leaking that stuff out, and I'll tag you guys so y'all can share with y'all's followers.
Do you do like a updated leaderboard from time to time? Like here's where we're at right now.
We don't have to because it's Fishing Chaos app. So you can go on there whenever you want and see what's happening now.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
But I'm sure y'all have a Facebook page.
We do. We have a Facebook page, Facebook group, and Instagram.
Yeah, that's
page.
what I'm saying. Like, do you ever just take a screenshot and say, "Hey, this is the winners" for the people who aren't on the
right or ain't even registered yet?
Yeah. I mean, that's some of the stuff we're gonna do with our social.
Right.
Yeah.
And plug those guys.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm good. I'm going with it.
I appreciate you coming over here.
Hey,
man.
thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate y'all.
It's always a good time.
It's always a good time hanging out with y'all.
Anything we missed?
I don't think so.
I think we got it. We
We'll
nailed the
cover it
sponsors.
all.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, as long as we got the sponsors on there, they keep paying us money, we'll be good.
That's right.
That's
We got to
it.
build up that pot.
All right,
right.
y'all go register up, man. The link, the link to the Fishing Chaos specific to his tournament is right there in the comments on the video people and everybody watching on the replay. Audio people, I'll link it in there somewhere as well too, so you ought to be able to just click on your phone once that goes out. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching, man, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
That's it.